Hey guys, Tony here, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at the Kaleidescape Strato E movie player. Kaleidescape has finally come to Australia, and as someone who has been watching with envy from a distance, I'm so happy to see it finally make its way down here. Before I get into the review, a couple of disclaimers. The Strato E was sent to me by Kaleidescape, however, this is not a paid review. All opinions are mine and they don't get to see the video before it goes live, and the review unit is going back. That being said, as part of an earlier announcement on my channel, where after 5 years of doing home cinema content on YouTube, I have stepped into the design and installation game, and I have been successful in my application as a Kaleidescape dealer here in Australia only, and will be adding these to my room builds because I truly believe it's the #1 way to watch a movie in a dedicated cinema room. So, am I a little biased? I guess I am, because this is something that has been on my list to experience for the last 5 years. So in this video, I'm going to cover off my experience with the Kaleidescape ecosystem, what I like, what I don't like, and everything in between, so stay tuned. So for those of you unfamiliar with Kaleidescape, it's the highest fidelity movie watching platform available in the residential market, with the best quality audio and video, making it perfect for the home theatre enthusiast. There are a number of options available with standalone movie players, but also the ability to extend the system out to multiple rooms and players with a server that can store multiple movies. The players available are the Strato, and the servers are called Terra, and come with a number of options and price points. And no, it's not cheap, but those who can afford it and have a home cinema with a multi-channel speaker setup and a 4K projector is, in my opinion, the ultimate way to watch a movie or TV show without compromise. So the player I have here for the review is the Strato E, and it is a physically smaller version of the Strato V, although with less capacity to store movies. I mentioned the Strato V because I personally own this one for my showroom, and when I compared them, I didn't notice any difference between them outside of the Strato E storing less movies. The Strato E can store 5 to 6 4K movies, whereas the Strato V can store around 10. This doesn't mean that you're capped to that many movies, it just means that you have to remove one of the older movies to make space. You can prevent a movie from being deleted by favoriting it, which is one of the many cool features that I like about Kaleidescape ecosystem, and I will cover off that later in the video. The Strato E also has Dolby Vision support, the same as the Strato V, and as both projectors I was using to test the players on, one being the Valerian Pro 2 and the other one being the Valerian Max, I played Dolby Vision content and the little logo popped up straight away. And as I was able to confirm this via the Strato E and the V's website interface, you can also get quite a bit of information about the setup, which also helps with troubleshooting things like the cables and the HDMI versions. The Strato V comes in a black aluminium case with the familiar rounded corners and looks really cool in the rack with the glowing logo, whereas the Strato E is smaller, rectangular, and still has a very premium feel to it, but it can easily be mounted behind a TV if you need to. What I love about the Kaleidescape and have always wanted is the shuffle. The shuffle is really cool and gives you some quality of life functionality that I mentioned earlier. When you go into the movie store, you can hover over a movie, wait a moment, press left on the remote, and then toggle the shuffle, and the software will go and find a whole screen's worth of movies which are similar to the one that you hovered over. This could be either a franchise like James Bond for example, or it could be the actors or any number of other algorithm matches that have been set up in the system. Sadly, the shuffle is only visible on the on-screen display if you have a standalone player grouped to a Terra server, because if it can only store 5 movies in a standalone mode, there is no point in shuffling. Adding a Terra with additional storage brings the original shuffle cover art OSD into the fold, as you are adding more movies from your collection. In standalone, where you have only 6 movies, it uses the simplified UI. The US movie store is much larger than the Aussie one, however I know from talking with the team at Kaleidescape that this is something constantly in the works, and even since I got my player, the library has expanded significantly. I can't wait for John Wick and some of the Marvel and Star Wars movies to become available, however most of my other favourite movies were already in the store, so I was able to sign in and purchase them. This is something additional to the cost of the player, where you need to buy the movies, which can range from the special prices of under 10 Australian dollars all the way up to the pre-order prices for new releases at over 50 Australian dollars. But the beauty of this is that when you buy it, you own it, and even if you delete it, you can re-download it again. Kaleidescape also have sales sales going on at random times, so you can pick up things on a cheap, as well as a disc to digital program where you can connect a BD-ROM drive to the unit and let it catalog your discs so you can purchase a digital copy for a discount, which is really cool. I didn't test out that feature, but it's there if you need it. The movie store is, in my opinion, the coolest part of the experience because you can do quite a lot from within the store itself. Searching for actors, movies, genres, and if it's there you can buy it and download it in around 10 minutes if you have a gigabit connection like I do. Inside each movie, the team at Kaleidescape have added some cool features, which as a home theater enthusiast make this the ultimate way to demonstrate the capabilities of your setup. For example, if you have A Star Is Born, you can scroll down and it has a list of all the songs, and you can simply press it with the remote and it will start playing that song for you. No need to skip or fast forward. This feature alone is massive because I demo a lot for people and I always have to either preset up the position of the demo or waste time scrubbing around. I can't speak highly enough of this feature. You can also then go and find other movies that the actors have done within the movie store and conveniently purchase and download them. When it comes to the picture quality, it's as good as you can get with uncompressed video, multiple times higher in quality than that of streaming. Truth be told, when it came to the video, I didn't notice much difference between the Kaleidescape and a 4K Blu-ray disc. On some of the discs I have, such as Top Gun Maverick and Dune, it was very similar to the point that I couldn't really tell. However, when it comes to the audio, I noticed it right away. It was elevated over disc as Kaleidescape delivers truly lossless audio, which I was not expecting. It does make sense when you consider that some of these movies are over 100 gigabytes and a disc is usually around 60 gigabytes due to the limitation of the disc storage. So having the uncompressed audio from Kaleidescape was something that I noticed right away. The channel separation was instantly noticeable in my dedicated room where I have a Trinov Altitude processor, which is also a device which gives you the best possible audio. Trinov even have some trailers available in the Kaleidescape movie store, so you can get the best possible demo experience on your Trinov with a Kaleidescape as well. The Trinov clips can be accessed in the movie store, but it also happens to be available via the setup video section of the settings menu. So I'll describe for you what I noticed with each of the movie demos that I tested, especially as I'm very familiar with each of the movies I tested. I watched the movie demos in my upstairs 7.2.4 casual cinema room, which has the Strato E, and also on the Strato V, which is currently in my dedicated cinema room while I wait for my showrooms to be finished. Essentially, the video on this movie is dark, grainy, and at times out of focus, but that is the look that the director is going for, and I love it. Compared to the disc, I didn't notice much difference, possibly with some of the highlights being a little bit more detail. However, with the audio, there was definitely a step up from the disc. The LFE track for starters was way punchier in both spaces. However, with the Trinov's waveforming in my dedicated room, the explosions and the crashes were undeniably bigger and better. This movie looks great, but let's face it, it's all about the music. The singing scenes in this one on the Kaleidescape are excellent, with the ability to now just pick a song and play it. The convenience of that alone wins me hands down. The quality of the vocals on my Crix MX10 speakers, as well as the Crix Vortex Center upstairs, were clean, sharp, without being harsh. They were silky smooth, and again, it just feels like a higher resolution. This one is another favourite of mine to demo the visuals on, and it just felt a little bit better than the disc, with better detail in the highlights. The audio again was off the chain, and with the motorbike revving, sounding like thunder, and yep, that's actually what it's called the Thunder Bike. Excellent LFE presentation, and it really felt like the bikes were in the room with me. I know I sound like a broken record now, but the audio in this one, again, was insanely good. The afterburners felt like they were in the room with me, and the tactile response in the chairs was amazing. I felt that the video was pretty much on par with the disc. I like Maverick because it is such a clean movie and has almost no grain at all. Again, with this one, the channel separation was king. When the DB5 was spinning around with the machine guns going, you could really feel like the bullets were passing around you. Image-wise, it was what I was used to, the video was great, and I loved using the preset scenes to find a demo to look for. This is a classic cult fan favourite of mine, and again, video and audio felt elevated from the Blu-ray. I noticed it in the scene where the glass was breaking. With the Trinov, that extra little bit of HF detail was noticeable in the Kaleidescape version. In this one, I like to demo the quiet conversation the two protagonists have while sitting on the sand dune. It really shows how much extra detail is in the track, with the sand blowing around and the music playing softly while they have a quiet and intimate conversation. You can feel the emotion in this scene. It's elevated so much more with the Kaleidescape. So now that I've given my subjective feedback on what it's like to watch a movie, I'll go over some of the things that I really like about the Kaleidescape experience and some of the things I wish were improved. First of all, the movie store. It is a lot of fun to jump around and check out all of the different options when it comes to picking something to watch. You can get movie trailers, you can see the price of the movie, you can filter in so many different ways, genres, actors and more. It's just a fun way to find something to watch. The shuffle is a standout for me. Don't sleep on that. Using that feature helped me to find all of the Mission Impossible movies, and it's just super cool. After 5 long years watching people with a Kaleidescape, I have to say it's so awesome to be able to do it myself. The custom-made demo scenes, which are put together by the staff at Kaleidescape, are also a huge bonus for owning one of these systems. As home cinema enthusiasts, we love to be able to showcase our favorite movie scenes, and they have been carefully curated already for you. Hands down, one of my favorite features along with a shuffle. I also like that you can remotely see via the web interface the way the system is configured, which is really helpful with troubleshooting. If your cable is not high enough quality, you will see it will not be connecting at 12-bit 444, so you can use the web interface to test out certain things. Also, the web interface allows you to do things like set up PIN numbers for purchases so that you can make sure that you're the only authorized person that can spend on the store, and I also like that you can sit at your PC to browse the store, purchase a movie, and then set it to download. All the while you can watch the progress of the download to see how long it will take. You can also use the mobile app to browse the movie store from anywhere, purchase movies and monitor the downloads as well. A cool accessory you can get is the rack mounted plate so that you can have a Terra server and a Strato Player next to each other, or just have the Strato Player on its own. It comes in at $400 Australian, so you can switch it over if you upgrade to a server. Now to flip the coin, I wish that the library was a little bigger, especially here in Australia. While there are a lot of movies already available, some of my favourites are not there yet, such as Ready Player One, Edge of Tomorrow, and none of the John Wicks. Again, this is a licensing thing more than a problem with the Kaleidescape experience, but I honestly think that this is such a polished product that it is so easy to use as a consumer that my only real gripe is wishing that it had every single movie ever made available. Some may see a drawback to the system that the players can only store between 5 and 10 movies, and that there is a significant cost barrier when it comes to buying a Terra server. However, it is the only way to expand the library and have access to more movies without having to re-download them. I myself don't have a Terra server yet, but I will be putting one into the showroom as soon as I have more options to demo for people. Pricing for the Strato E comes in at $52.99 Australian dollars, with the Strato V flagship coming in at $7,999. The Terra servers start at $12,999 Australian dollars and range up to the 123TB version at an eye-watering $140,000 Australian dollars. If you wanted to dip your toes in the water with the Kaleidescape, you can also look at the Strato M, which is a 2K player at $34.99, and I have personally seen this on an 8K TV with the picture quality, and it was as good as a 4K version. I couldn't tell any difference at all until they told us. I would never have known. The benefits of each of these players is that they support bitstream pass-through for native object-based formats like Dolby Atmos and DTS:X, so you won't lose anything from the audio side. There are other players as well, like the Legacy Strato C, but you will need to have a server to use it, and it is appropriate for customers with existing systems and specific configurations. I will leave a link down in the description to the Kaleidescape if you want to find out more about the options, and I want to say a big thank you to the team at Kaleidescape for sending me the Strato E to test out and compare with my Strato V. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with it in my casual setup. I will have the Strato V available for demo very soon in my showroom in southwestern Sydney at Gregory Hills, so more announcements about that will be coming very soon. But if you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, hit the like button and share it with your friends. I will have more videos coming very soon, especially regarding my showroom, so stay tuned for that one. Anyway guys, a very big thank you for watching, but that's it for this one. You'll catch me in the next one. Bye for now.